Yep, that's it. Bit of intro. Megaman X4. First of the PlayStation games. Of 3 of them. And something the only one I played all 3 of them, which can be said to be actually good. Actually, no, it was also the second Megaman X5, which was also good. But you can really see that, well, even the start, the little animation I skipped, that they had ambitious ideas of integrating anime style cutscenes to this, and I can say about those cutscenes is that they're awful. Animation is really cheap, and it's horribly written and acted, so they really don't want to watch it. So besides, it's just try to make the quite boring plot go along just fine, although it does have a bit of curiosity value, mostly because you can just gawk about how awful it is. But let's just get going with in the Legacy Collection. And of course, 2 characters, and of course, new generation of the game. The game means that there was also completely redesigned sprite work, and Zero became completely playable all by himself, not as a upgrade, but as a completely own character with slightly different plot and all that. So let's just go and show how Zero goes. Yeah, once more of these cringy cutscenes. In a sense quite nice, but you don't want to watch them too much. And of course, the intro stage. Ready. Oh yeah, but the basic moves are still the same. Zero can jump, dash, jump, and instead of gun, he's got his famous Z-saber, meaning that in the close quarters combat, he is at powerhouse. He's a devastatingly strong fighter, but so let's just get going. And of course, the graphical upgrade really did make the game look. There was you could say, upgrade of the graphical style, which you can say was not completely bad. So let's get forward, and of course, being on the PlayStation 1 made that they could make more animation frames, bigger enemy sprites, more detailed sprites, and all that kind of, you could say, good details about this. I don't remember. So you can say that the technical sense, there was in visual styling, there was massive amount of improvement, but which was, you could say, completely expendable. Oh yeah, but the basic plot is something that the Repliforce, to which X and Zero belong, has gone into mutiny, so things are gonna go bad. Yeah. I think there was some remakes from the earlier Megaman X games using basically this kind of game engine. Oh yeah. But you can still see that well, seeing that Zero has much talent in making things pay, being that he's never considered himself a hero. Because he oh, yep. Well, of course, not recommended to go dash completely completely forward with those rocks because they squish you. And you could say that, and of course, both X and Zero have the same ability of power copying, meaning that every boss you defeat eventually, or every maverick you eventually defeat, will give you some sort of new ability, which in X's cases, X gets basic weapons, but Zero gets all kind of mobility boosts, and which are quite, you could say, fancy. Oh. Quite simplistic, old-fashioned drop you there trap. And a new character, Iris. Things go bad, but Zero is good at defeating things. His personal body tally would later go to billions, or very, very high, being that... Actually no. Yeah, we have, and of course they managed to bring a really big, impressive looking boss to this game. But at first, just to highlight that they're now using PlayStation, which is not bad at all. Game looks good, even though some of the additions were quite cringy, like the cutscenes. Ambitious, yes, but not so well done. Oh, real stupid by the Colonel. Because of pride, decides to destroy him, wreck himself. So yeah, now they were thought to be in a mutiny, now they are in a mutiny. But then again, Zero's been always good with mashing them to pieces. So let's just continue to the character selection. Yeah, more of these cringy cutscenes. They basically don't drive the plot forward. They basically just told the same whatever is already there. But Zero's back in HQ. Yeah, and now the basic enemy boss list. Yeah. So yeah, 8 bosses to choose from. Nicer looking graphics, nicer music. So, but let's just demonstrate this game's basic level style from here. He's the ice character and he's the big guy. And that's a nice little cameo from Blizzard Buffalo from X3. So yeah. Zero can dash, jump, there's a nice Blizzard effect. Visually, lots of upgrade and no way to get there with this basic equipment. So going forward, yep, every stage has all these kind of little extra spaces and all that. You could say nothing really strangely without really unusual, and of course a hot piece that is quite impossible to get because of and get the 1-up. But oh shit, respawned right into that box. Yeah, that kind of things do happen. That was unintentional. But I could still say that the basic styling is that Zero has better... well... X and Zero both play different ways. They're not identical in gameplay. Let's just stay right here to avoid. Practically the reappearing, disappearing blocks. What is the Yoku puzzle and some spikes as well. Basic jumping, platforming, with a little bit of tutorial about using regular jumps, dash jumps. Nothing really complex, but then again, so I have a bit of feeling that this stage was meant to be the stage that you start in, mostly because it's really easy one. Okay. And of course there's one more of the... Basically you could say that every stage has 3 items or whatever thingamajiggeries for you to find. And one of them is always hard tank, but then there's also other kind of trinkets and tidbits for you to find, so it's a... It's been a long time since I played through this game, so I really can't remember. Oh, there was this kind of little bit of bad level design making so that you can't really see that, and some ice plates falling lower, making it so that you want to sneak downwards with them. Yeah, it's not particularly, you could say, difficult game, but it's not really easy. If you don't know what to expect, it's not easy. But if you know what to expect from Mega Man X game, it ain't so bad. And a mini boss. I was supposed to say, if I would have the upgraded mobility and attack ability of Zero, it would be much easier to take out that thing. Highly recommended to but I do say that the upgraded graphics do make this game look real nice. Oh damn. And he goes down. And there's a nice little detail that if you take enough damage, there's an obvious sign of being injured. So they had a lot of nice little details that they could add to this game, which they do. And we have some of these Mets walking around in ice cubes, and some basic enemies as well. And bombs, which explode. But I say that and interestingly, when in the original PlayStation 1 version, the loading times were loading times, and they were quite long. So the Legacy Collection manages to improve on that part quite easily, even though it really can't do the fact that the games it doesn't feel as good as 3 Super Nintendo Mega Man X games. I'm not certain of what makes it so. It might have to do with the at least this one is not perfect, but it's solid enough. And I've already managed to find one of the bonus items, the so-called weapon tank. It reloads your weapon energy. Quite handy. Not perfect, but quite handy. Much more for Zero, it's practically useless. For X, it has uses, but Mega Man X series has had that kind of styling that over the design choices, that the regular weaponry tends to be much more efficient than the actual extra weapons, except with Zero's case, because in his case the extra weapons are integrated into his basic moveset, meaning that you can use them on the fly. You don't need to change into using them, which of course is quite convenient thing. Really makes you, and many of the regular moves which Zero uses in his solos over say his own series, Mega Man Zero, came from here, this game, or the Mega Man X games. So, but time to go and face our first Maverick, or Robot Master, how are you gonna call it? With a warning clack song, nice boss room, big room, and entry. You know, that kid is older than you. Yeah, Frost Walrus. Big! Big, slow, strong. And really clumsy. You don't want to be in a war when he stomps into it. Oh, damn. And because it's gonna hurt like a hell when he does the stomp. But you can do the riskier maneuver of avoiding his stomp from And you can and Zero can also and he was chopped to pieces. And of course, there's a chain of weaknesses that you can abuse to get through the game with a breeze. They had Japanese names to them, but why wouldn't they? I don't know why they would do it. But it's the downstab, Icy's downstab. So that was the introductory thing, and it's like I guess it's time to show some of how the game was ending, because, well, you know, the final boss is of course Sigma, so I think I'm gonna show about him. I'll be there right at the finals. Now I'm gonna demonstrate some of the extra moves that Zero can learn once through the defeat of the Mavericks. He gets the double jump, the fire strike upwards, icy stab, thundery slash. His saber becomes purple instead of green, meaning it gets more power. And of course, the flippy spinny slashy attack, and of course even he also could say, you could say Nova Dash or Nova Dash bomb. He gets a bomb attack. So quite handy arsenal of moves he gets, and all can be used on the fly. I'm about to go to the final stage to face the final boss, Sigma, of course, because who else would it be? Even though it remains quite hidden for quite well time. There's all kinds of obstacles and thingamajiggeries around here, but basically stage is just the same. Actually no, I forgot. There's the Mavericks. Well, I guess I could make something like a showcase out of this. Show Maverick bosses, and once I die, I'll be ending this, because I already managed to show that quite well, that what kind of game this is. It's not a bad game at all. That one's called Cyber Peacock. It burns nicely, and of course when you use the weakness to them, the basically attack pattern breaks, and they become very vulnerable to your other attacks. Meaning that you can just, unless of course they happen to spawn right on top of you, as in his case he wants to do. And he is actually quite nasty boss. Going down with a big explosion. Yep, the spider boss. I don't remember what was his name. Was it something? It was something spider. Was it web spider, which would be one of them, you could say, unimaginative names for spider boss ever. But he shoots that kind of lightning thingamajiggeries. But as Zero's specialty is mobility, not firepower, many bosses are quite having difficulties against him, even if they might have that kind of thingamajiggeries. So now he's getting angry, putting up that kind of building up a fire web. But he goes down as well. Yeah, the bosses do give damage, and Zero's trouble is that not every boss has basically a weakness he can completely exploit. Like the spider did not have that kind of thing, which made it a bit more hard. Magma Dragoon. He is a very shout out to the another Capcom franchise, and you're gonna see it. Yeah, he even mentions the name of the technique. Yeah, he's got the Hadokens and he's got the Shoryukens. And big flaming fire breath attack that he loves to use. And fire kick as well. But I guess this ends the episode right here. The graphical styling has been shown, Zero has been shown, and it's also been shown that it's not as grappling, or as fun as you could say about the original 3 Megaman X games. So this was this kind of little short one as well. So let's just give a bit of a blast to the end. Yep, that's it. Nice episode still. And a little bit of show-offery.